Welcome back to Atomic Hearts. It's very quiet here. There's the music. We are just outside of what I guess is Sechenov's office. We're going to go in there, and let's face it, we're probably going to fight one, if not both, of the twins. Even though when I do my scan, I don't see anything. But, you know, that's an old video game trick when, you know, the tool that you relied on the whole game suddenly doesn't work when it's convenient for it not to work. I could be wrong, though. I could be wrong. There's only one way to find out is let's go through this door right here. Did I look at the Nora at the end of the last episode? I think I did. It looks like I'm all loaded up on ammo. And also loaded up on... what else? Yeah, a bunch of health items. And let's go ahead and take one of them right here. Let's just go ahead and do a preemptive heal up. And let's enter this door.
Boss? Protect. Well, Cheriton, are you proud of yourself? You, Larissa, and Zenaida have certainly been busy. But Sergei, I wouldn't have expected you to be quite so gullible, my boy.
Silence! You messed with my head. You wiped my memory. Am I a toy to you like those other people connected to Collective? Who the fuck do you think you are?
Calm down, Sergei. I can see you're terribly upset. It's okay, I don't blame you. But you, Cheriton, you were supposed to help the boy, not pull his strings like a puppet.
Me? Don't you blame this on me? I'm not the one trying to deprive everyone of their free will, turning them into mindless puppets. It wasn't my choice to be a talking pile of goo either. You're glad it happened, aren't you? You'll use everything and everyone to achieve your goal, including me and your agent. Admit it!
How dare you? I lost you both, then saved your lives. You're both scientific miracles. You are my best friend, Cheriton. And the Major is like a son to me.
And those two are like daughters, right? And everyone you're going to connect to Collective, everyone whose minds you're going to control, who are they to you? Millions of foster kids? Everyone is just grist for your mill, Dimitri.
I want to give mankind a spectacular future. Unimaginable achievements. I want to give them a path to the star.
Both of you, shut up! Get your hands up! Some goddamn wizard you are. Tell him to stand down. I'm counting to 3. 1!
What a shame.
2!
It's a shame you've escalated this situation without even trying to resolve it peacefully. But I won't let you stand in the way of progress. Right, left, terminate.
Just like that. Just like that. Terminate. Oh gosh. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. Oh, ouch. Ouch, stop it. Oh, that hurts. Oh, it's pointy. Stop it. Oh, stop. Oh, am I dead? I'm dead. Well, thanks for playing through Atomic Heart with me, everybody. See you next time. Nah, I'm just kidding. Let's get revenge. She come at me so fast. I tell you what, though. This game, at least to me and for me, has done an excellent job of making me go back and forth with who's bad, who's good, you know? And with everything that we saw at the Academy of Consequences, at least I think that's what that place was called, with Larissa, made me think, oh yeah, Sechenov's a bad guy. We need to put an end to this. We can't let him take over the world, blah, blah, blah. And then in that little tiny, who knows how long that was, a minute, 2 minutes that we were in there talking to him, then I'm like, huh. You know, he like accuses us of not even trying to resolve it peacefully, and talking about how, you know, basically Sechenov, basically our character and Zaharov were like his best friends, you know, like, oh, you know, I would do anything to save you. I brought you back from the dead, you know. And so I'm like, oh gosh, maybe he's not a bad guy, you know. And so then I'm starting to feel bad. But then he just very calmly, coolly says, left, right, terminate. And now I'm like, nah, he's a bad guy. You know, just going back and forth. It's great. It's so great. Let's see if we can beat these twins. Okay, so it doesn't look like I have an option to really do anything there when she comes at me. Oh, it's a different key. Oh, yeah, I don't. I'm not a fan of that. Not pressing the correct key quickly enough and you're dead. That's not cool. Come on, that's not cool. That's kind of BS. And you know I love this game, but that's... shouldn't be like that. Gee whiz. So I have no idea what key is going to be hit here. I need to hit. The Q I actually have a hard time getting to because it's my left pinky. I can't quite get to it quickly enough. But it doesn't look like I could get to any key quickly enough, really. It's either going to be Q, E, or space. I don't know if it'll be any other key. Let's see here. Okay, so that time I got the E key. Space bar. Okay, that's a good start. And so really now, instead of like watching and participating, I'm just looking in the center of the screen for what key I'm supposed to hit next. Really. That's too bad, because this looks pretty awesome. And I'm really, really worried that the next key press I get wrong, I'll die, and I have to do it all over again. Oh, she's gonna drop that on us here. At least that time I had a little bit more time, I feel like. Okay, now.
What living fuck is this?
Stop blaming the machines, Major.
Freaking fucking critters. These are cold hard facts, Bulliet.
Okay, let's see.
Stop messing with my...
Okay, so you can see I'm messing with left here.
The wife I don't remember? Well, which one?
They both are. I tried to bring Glesna back to life when her brain was literally ripped in half. I wanted to restore her right...
Am I out of ammo? What's going on here?
But the process was too complicated.
What the shit? But why? You're already fucking with people who are still alive. Couldn't you just leave the dead in peace? That's enough, boss. I'm willing to believe that you were acting in my best interests. But why couldn't you just tell me?
I'm sorry, Sergei. I wasn't sure what to do.
Right now, the right thing is to call off the twins and just talk to me.
Forgive me, but right now they're fighting Sheridan, not you.
And... oh, I guess at some point I switched from the left to the right and didn't realize it.
Critters, can we just stop fighting?
Take off the gloves.
Okay, fine. First call off my wife.
It's Teardrop talking.
Major, wake up!
Oh! Somebody's bowling.
Katya.
Your wife is dead. Sechenov took her from you. Dmitri is suggesting that I'll be hurt. You will be next, Major.
Oh, wait a minute. Left just got some health. I'm hardly doing anything to him now. It's a pretty cool arena to fight in. I like it. Okay, left is dead. Actually, both of their health bars are gone, so I'm not sure what's going on here. I feel like I've defeated them. Their health bars are gone, so what's up? Okay, what's going on here? Okay. Okay. Alright, what am I doing here? Am I just running in circles? Okay. Murderous beauty, it says. Oh crap.
You lousy
You
piece
don't
of
understand.
shit.
Cheriton's manipulating you.
Oh, jeez.
He gained access to the Voskhod module in your brain and started sending you to Limbo. I was busy getting ready for the collective update, so I didn't realize it right away. He's the one who killed Molotov. Tell me, Cheriton, did you do the same thing to Dr. Filatova? Did you use my agent to tear her limb from limb?
I'm sick of your hypocrisy, Dmitri. I did your dirty work while you stayed squeaky clean.
But they didn't deserve to die. Why have you done this?
You motherfucker, this whole time.
I've done enough of you, Major. Your job is done.
P3, my boy. Get up! Get up! What do you want?
I want all this to end, Dmitri. I want your pathetic human race to realize it has no future. It's time for it to step aside and make way for the next phase of its evolution.
There's that cat on the left, look.
Cheriton, you're pure evil. What are you going to do to humanity and collective?
You should not call something evil just because you cannot comprehend it. Evil is an abstract concept, and your thinking is limited. You are a human, a species that will soon be extinct. I realized when I stopped being human myself. Your limitations prevent you from seeing the truth. Dumb humans don't want to evolve. All they want is comfort and satisfaction on someone else's dime.
You never wanted to join with the massive array. No. Stop, Cheriton. No.
I changed my mind.
The Argentum unit entered Dr. Sechenov's office and found no trace of the doctor. According to partially reconstructed footage, it appears the humanoid neuropolymer object approached Dr. Sechenov's body and then completely consumed it. After the events described in the report, the unidentified humanoid neuropolymer object left Dr. Sechenov's office and vanished.
P2, P3. Mind is never free.
Dumb, crispy critters!
There is nothing I can do if you leave me here to cry.
That. Wow, who saw that coming?
There is nothing I
Who saw that coming? Well, okay, so I do know that there have been many times throughout the game when people left comments about, I don't think Charles is quite what we think Charles is, right? I mean, so I think we all kind of suspected something.
You know my love will follow you, baby.
But right there at the end, they did such a great job, I think, at least to me, of making me think that old Charles was our friend. You know, he was the one that we could rely on. He was the good angel sitting on our shoulder, pointing us in the right direction and helping us see the light. But holy crap, apparently not. That's fantastic. And then, so what happened right there at the end? So our character's right back in limbo, and the voice is like P1, P2, P3. She calls to all three of them. We're P3, and P2 was Blesna, right? Was P1 also Blesna? Because, in true Atomic Heart fashion, one of my complaints about this game are all the times when I'm in the middle of a fight and the game wants to have a conversation, and sure enough, final fight in the game has to have a conversation where our character is talking to Sechenov. And so I'm trying to stay alive, I can't pay attention really to the conversation while I'm trying to stay alive, but there was talk about, Ekaterina, our character's wife, and there's something about both of the twins are his wife? Is that what I heard? I have to go back and watch it again. So does that mean P1 and P2 are both Blesna? And that P3 is us? I don't know, man. I have to go back and watch that again. At the very, very ending, that part that was in limbo. I don't know, man. I don't know. So many games I play that I have to go online afterwards and let other people smarter than me explain the game to me. It doesn't take away from the game at all. I don't think. I really don't. I think it was a fantastic game, and I love a game that is not just so black and white. A game that, some part of the game you're on this side, and then on the other time you're on this side, and then you're like, wait a minute, maybe I should be on this side, and then it makes you think, no, maybe I should be on this side. It did a really, really nice job of one of my Steam friends left a review of this game and basically did not recommend it. And from what I could gather from that review, they didn't recommend it mainly because of the quick time events required for the final boss. I'm not a fan of quick time events either, and especially not in a situation like that where one false move and you're dead, you know. However, I don't think that was enough to make this a bad game. I don't think it is. I think that was just maybe a bad design decision right there, having that be a quick time event right at the end. But to me, at least, by no means does that make this a bad game. I thought this game was fantastic. I mean, all the way through it. When it very first started and I first started doing combat, I was a little worried because the combat felt uncomfortable and unnatural. And honestly, it might be because I had just played Elden Ring, a game where I play with a controller, you know, and then I prefer mouse and keyboard, so especially in a first-person shooter, I went back to mouse and keyboard, and so maybe that's one reason why it felt unnatural, but there was something about it that didn't feel right. But I tell you what, I feel like I got used to it really quickly, and I really enjoyed the variety of combat. I really enjoyed that we could have a ballistic weapon, an energy weapon, a melee weapon, and then different kinds of each of those. And then on top of that, we had these other factors. You know, we could, shock them or freeze them or levitate them, or the whole cartridge thing was really neat, which I forgot to use at the end of the game. Could have put a cartridge on my weapon and shocked or froze or burned the twins as I fought them, but turned out I didn't need it. But I really enjoyed the variety of combat options. I really, really liked the decision that allowed you to scrap a weapon that you had fully upgraded with no penalty whatsoever. Most games don't let you do that. You know, most games when you upgrade things or you spend coin on things, when you go to sell that thing or break it down, you're going to lose a large percentage of what you worked towards to get there. But this game was like, nope. Feel free to do whatever you want. And I thought that was a really good decision. It made me more apt to try out other weapons, whereas normally I wouldn't. So, great decision there. I really liked that. Another thing that I talked about in the game was, and this was actually brought up in the comments, and I think I know who made the comment, but about how even though we encountered the same enemies over and over again, I never really got tired of them, which is, I don't even know how they managed to do that, but that's quite a feat. I mean, ultimately there was a very small variety of enemies in this game, right? And we encountered them over and over again, but for I don't know why, but I never got tired of fighting them. A game that comes to mind is The Last of Us Part 2, which I played who knows how long ago, a year or longer ago. And I really got like combat fatigue towards the end of that game, because it's like, oh, here's some more guys that you need to sneak around and try to take them out. I just got tired of facing the same, and it wasn't even the same because there's the infected. And there's like different factions that you're fighting against, so there was a little bit of variety there. But man, I got combat fatigue in that game. But I never got it in this game. I don't know why. But they did an excellent job there. I loved the level design. I loved the whole map and the training grounds. Oh my gosh, the training grounds were so great. Totally optional, but you know me, I'm going to play every bit of the game you could play. But on top of that, you get, there's a good reason to do them. You get blueprint upgrades, you get loot upgrades, but you don't have to do them. No, sir, you don't. So I loved that they were optional, but there's certainly a great reward for doing them. And then the story, like I said, just going back and forth. Who's the good guy? Who's the bad guy? Who are we? I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great game. I had so much fun playing it. And this is what, episode 70, I think. right around there. And every time I sat down to play this game, I was excited to play it. I can't say that about most games I play because, we're all human and sometimes we're tired and maybe we just don't feel like playing a game or getting back into it. But this game, every single time, I was excited to play it. I was always happy to sit down and play this game. It's a good-looking game. It played well. It performed really well on my system. I really didn't have any performance issues with it, I don't think. I don't know if I ever remember it crashing. I just think it played great. There were a couple of bugs. I remember one time I had to go back to an older save because I kind of got stuck. That was in a training ground. That might have happened one or two other times too, but those are minor. Now this studio Moonfish, I don't know if they've done any other games, but I'm quite sure they're not a big studio. But bravo to them for making this well-polished game. I mean, when you look at like Redfall, right, it come out, and that thing, nobody's playing that anymore for who knows what reasons, performance reasons. The game's just not that great. I don't know. All these games that come out, what was it, like a Star Wars game came out just fairly recently that had all kinds of performance issues? I could be wrong about that, but it just seems like it's almost more common than not for a game to come out with all kinds of terrible performance issues that need to be fixed. There were some things that need to be fixed in this game too, but for me at least, it seemed to run great from the start. It just seemed really well optimized, and my system is like 6 years old. I do not have a new system. Now, I only play at 1080p. I don't try to play in 4K. If I tried to play in 4K, it would certainly be a different situation, but played great in 1080p the whole time through. No problems. The music, oh my gosh, how many times did I stop and talk about how great the music was? And I know you guys liked it too. You'd leave comments about how great the music was. And I can't think of the guy's name now, but the guy who did the music is well known for his musical talents. And I mean, they were just used so well in this game. Loved the music. I'm just gushing. A fantastic game. Never got tired of playing it. That's another thing. A lot of times I'll play a game and I'm like, okay, enough of this game, ready to end it, ready to move on, but not this one. I would play this more. I just loved it. Fantastic game. What else could we talk about? So many questions still remain for me at the end. Like I said, I'm going to have to go back and like really listen to the conversation between Sechenov and our character right there at the end. And there's a part of me that wonders if it's worth going back. Remember not too long ago, we had to make a quick decision, a timed decision, where it's like, are we going to go back and talk to Sechenov, or are we just going to go back and fight him? And at that time, I was so convinced that he was the bad guy that I was just going to fight him. So what would happen if I went back and made the other decision? How much of the game would be different? I have to think that, I don't know. Ultimately, would we have ended up with the same ending? I'm also really surprised that this game's ending was never spoiled for me. I honestly don't know if there's more than one ending for this game. I don't know. I don't feel like this game. I feel like this game is going to end up being a cult classic. Like, I want to say a game like System Shock 2, right? I don't think that game sold exceptionally well. I don't think it was really appreciated when it came out. It wasn't until later that people started paying attention to it, that people recognize it for the masterpiece it really was. And there's other games like that, and other movies and TV shows. I'm talking about cult classics. I mean, games that are, media that isn't recognized as it should be when it's released, but then much later it is. And I really think that this game could be one of those games. If more people played this game and got the chance to appreciate it, I think that this could be one of those classics. And I'm aware of all the controversy surrounding the release of this game, the fact that it was a Russian studio that released it, and the whole thing that's going on with Russia and the Ukraine, and oh, if you buy this game, are you supporting the Russian government? I don't know about that. Honestly, I bought the game before I knew any of that. Had I known that when I bought the game, I don't know. I don't know if I ever saw 100% proof that that was happening. So I don't know, man. It's that kind of thing's so complicated, but the game itself, I think, deserves more recognition. I really do. I think that they did a lot of things that you don't see other games do. They took things that games did well, like the whole System Shock, BioShock thing. One of my favorite ways that the video games tell a story is the whole finding recordings in the game, where you could piece together the story and what happened. I love that in this type of game. System Shock and BioShock, your character kind of gets powers, where you could, in this one, you could shock or freeze or whatever. What else is great about that type of game? The System Shock 2 and BioShock all have great stories, great characters, a great world to explore. This game certainly has all of that. I don't know. I think there's so much here. And yeah, it's a shame that more people aren't playing it and more people haven't played it, and that I just feel like it deserves more recognition. Even with some missteps, like I said before, with the quick time event on the final boss. I think that's a design mistake. I'm not a game designer. I don't know what could have been done better. Maybe just making it a fight, what it ultimately turned into, instead of that little quick time thing right there. But it didn't ruin the game for me. So, I don't know. I know that there are several of you out there who enjoyed watching me play it as much as I enjoyed playing it, and I know that some of you can't play this game for whatever reason. So I'm happy that I was able to bring it to you and you were able to enjoy it. But those of you who have played the game, did you enjoy it? Did you feel the same way about it I did? Or did you have problems with it? What was that final quick time event enough to make you discount the whole game? If you've played the game and finished it, let me know your thoughts now that you finally can without any spoilers. And then if you haven't played the game, even though you've watched me play it, if you're capable of playing it, are you going to play it? Do you have any intention of playing it? I'd like to know that. I think you should. I think it's great. It was a lot of fun. And maybe you could make different decisions than I made. You could play it differently than I played it. Different weapons than I used. Maybe you could start off using freeze instead of shock like I did. There was some kind of polymer shield thing that I never even got. I never even used it, never tried it. And I feel like there might have been one other thing that I never even tried. So like a good, like a Dishonored game, there's many different ways you could play it. Not as many as Dishonored. Dishonored, fantastic game. You could play it stealth, you could play it guns blazing. This game, I don't think you could do stealth too well. I don't think. But that's fine. That's totally fine. So yeah, let me know. Would you play it? If you haven't, and if you did, let me know your thoughts on it. What else do I have to say here? I was really trying to stretch out my comments to go through these ending credits, but I don't think that I have quite enough to say to get through them. And I could interrupt this end credits, but I was kind of hoping I'd get to the end of them, because I always kind of want to see if anything happens, and I'm always worried that if I skip the comments, I'll miss something. Here's the music artists. These are the ones who I guess created the music. I'm not seeing the name of the guy I was thinking of. Yeah, I don't know his name. It has to be listed there. Well, it's a snapper. I can't say I've ever seen snappers in a game before. What the heck is a snapper? I don't know. But what is this? I guess maybe these are company names? I don't know. yeah, I think we're getting close to the end. Loved the game. Really did. And thank you so much for following with me here. Didn't get a lot of views this one, which is a shame. I think it deserves better. Well, I guess I'll just let these scroll here. I generally tend to do that in my videos. I just let the credits scroll. It doesn't matter to me whether you watch them or not. I just kind of put them here for completeness sake. And that if there is anything else at the end, I'll come back and talk about it. So either sit here and enjoy this music while the credits scroll, or skip ahead to the end to see if there's anything else for us to see or anything else for me to talk about. If you leave now, no hard feelings. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another Let's Play soon. Well, there you have it. That is the end of Atomic Heart and the end of my playthrough. Thanks again for joining me. Thank you so much for coming with me as I played through this fantastic game. If I hit this to start, it just takes me right back here. And we've got a choice to return to Facility 3826. I'm not sure what that means exactly, but I might have to look into that because I am curious. Is that just, maybe you could just run around after the story has ended and just explore? I'm not sure, but I might check that out. But anyway, thank you so much for coming with me. Thanks for your comments and your likes. And I will see you again in another Let's Play soon. Take care, everybody.